All right. So here's how this works. So when you're flying around, use the triggers on the back, L2 and R2 that go up and down. You can zoom around like this. You can click in the. So by default, your camera, the right stick zooms in and out and goes left and right. If you click in the left stick, you can go up and down and all around with this. You can actually spawn right where you're sitting and drive around the area like this.
Alright.
Go back into hover mode by pressing down. You can undo and redo by pressing left and right on the D-pad. If you have logic in your level, which I'm not sure you're going to do, but if you have logic, you can press up to start it.
And again, to pause.
Yeah. Where to open up your poppet, this is value stuff. Goodies bag is full of materials and stuff you can plop down. Tools bag is where all the logic lives, so you can do like a mix. All this fun. There's a lot of shit. Essentially, imagine if LittleBigPlanet 2 was 3D. Wow. Here's where you can edit things like the water level. You can just fucking get rid of everything. You can choose what cart people. You can force people into carts. You can choose the minimum amount of players if you are name. There's a lot of shit. Like actually, like score bonuses for what place for first, second, and third. What kind of there's a absolute metric ton of stuff. Yeah, there's a ton. You can change the different levels of like each of the things in the level. You can add a reverb to shit. You can put stuff through a ducker. Or you can actually change the color of the sun. Change the direction of the sun. There's a... And you're not done. You also have...
this.
You can also change the... each theme actually has 3 different backgrounds, yeah. There. Terrain edit allows you to essentially
edit the terrain.
Yeah.
That seems simple.
Not left enough. Wait for the tooltip to show up on the bottom, I guess. No, undo.
Yes.
There's the tutorials, but I swear there's a way to like undo. Well, that's
hard
why
reset.
Yeah, that's why we get the hard reset button. With Thanos. All right, and then the
track itself.
The track, you drive. So what you do is you go into arena and track edit. You set it up if you want to create a track or create an arena. Create an arena, you essentially draw on the floor what you want the arena shape to be. Create track is you put down where you want your start gate. If you want to create like A to B, like where it's like instead of a single route, you want to make a Mount Wario, you would actually make it an arena. So you plot down your start. Well, yeah, it also requires a bit more fussing. You plot down this, and you actually drive. So you can rewind, but you can rewind. You hold R2 to go forward. You can pull up, make it go up. Pull down, make some twists. You can bring yourself. You can level yourself out by holding square. And essentially, that bar on the left shows you like how.
As well as how much is required to.
in order to complete the track, yeah. That so essentially, yeah, it's the white bar you need to worry about, but and then once you think you're fine, you just hold X, and it completes it. And then you get, and then it automatically populates the starting poles. So first, you know, it automatically populates that for you, and automatically gives you a scoreboard. You can change the position of this to wherever in the track you like. So I used to he controls these, but I used to be really good at it. You can actually edit the level even further by selecting a portion of the level, and you can just
bend it slightly.
Yeah, you can give it bends, you can give it swoops. You can change its elevation. So you go in here and you can just give it select this one section and just.
Is there a way to like bank a turn?
Like what do you mean?
Like where you have one side higher than the other?
Yeah, actually that's what you saw in so actually in this vertical shift, you can actually press the select the section, then you can use the D-pad to say, I want to bring this one down. Bam.
Ah, nice.
So you can either select the full thing, just one portion of it, or, wait, no, yeah, like that you select them both. Yeah, you can use that to essentially,
Turns.
yeah, or make a weird ass dip like that. And then you can go up here and essentially, yeah, make that an entire section.
So cool.
Yeah, like I said, this game is so fucking in depth. It's actually like more in depth than Mod Nation before it. So.
And branches, I assume.
So so essentially So there's branches and then there's breadcrumbs. So what a branch does is that it automatically creates a new track piece for you. That automatically assembles itself. So say if you wanted to create a branch that goes from there to there, it will automatically make a branch like that.
Nice.
And then you can actually go into reroll and reroll this entire section.
Essentially just changing up how it was generated?
Yeah. So you can essentially tell it, I want to reroll from here to here. And now it brings you back into track edit, and you can
just
and you can just instead of using the automated generated one, you can create this vertical short that goes backwards on. That's and you can do that with everything. Breadcrumbs are if you want to add track to do it. You're not gonna be. So go back into full track and just create a flat but open one. So just this. Oh, I fucked something. No idea what happened there. I probably hit the edge of the world. Also, the further zoomed in you are, the slower you go, the further out you go, the faster.
Jeez, you have a lot of lines.
Yes, you have a lot. So let's try and create that track again. You take a shit? But, so breadcrumbs are essentially if you're going to make a shortcut that is if you're going to make a shortcut, that isn't going to be off-road shortcut.
Ah.
So say what you can do is you can go over here into mod track and you can remove fence, go to the opposite side, and you say erase. Say you could go over here and just erase the entire fence here. Get rid of that there. And then what you'll do is, now this is a very section, but what you do is you place breadcrumbs that go like this. And that will let AI players know that that's still a drivable portion of the track. And the game won't, kill you for going.
Ah.
Oh, Lord. So, maybe I should just... So that will let AI players know that that is... Now, technically, when you do this, you should also go over here into... material. Oh. Game is nice enough to show you. Game is nice enough to show you where your breadcrumbs were when you're in this mode. But now AI players will know to take the turn here as a shortcut. That's what breadcrumbs
Nice.
This is how you can create items. So there's an entire its controls are weird, but there's an entire you can create objects, your own objects. And also you have our
yeah.
That's just a weaponator that has all the items pre-built into it. Bert, Pinky, Bob, hi. Blooper, Blue Shell, Bowser Shell, Bullet Bill, Brandon, DK Banana, Single Banana, some kind of object, don't know what that is, Single Red Shell. But yeah, you can make your own objects. It's weird. And also there's a Cataquack.
Oh.
Well, that's just because of how this game saves objects.
Fair enough.
So, I think that's a decent enough crash course.
I can definitely work with it.
Alright, knock yourself out. Oh, that's a map.
Yeah.
I want to see what this looks like on Steam.
A nice little upper to lower green bit.
Yeah.
A nice little wiggly loop.
Wiggly loop. Can't go wrong with the wiggly loop.
Hairpin. That's not a thing. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
Then it just comes back around. I don't want it to be too complex right away.
Sorry. Also, the tools bag is also where you find the weaponator, which are the items pickups, the bubbles, and the weaponizer. I believe that's what it's called. That's what you use to make an object that you craft into a. Probably won't. The one thing I will give Mod Nation Racers over this is that after you're done rolling a track, it asks you if you want to auto-populate the level, which essentially means it just throws a bunch of like, it automatically throws items and like decorations around the track for you.
That's cool.
I will say that the digital edition over the disc version does have like symmetry on its side. Because this thing would have symmetry if it wasn't for this lump.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the lump.png. It is a pretty crusty lump.
Yeah.
Remember when we first saw the lights on the thing, we thought it was the V? It's the V! I mean, in a sense, yeah, it is a V.
It is a V.
God damn, how do these side plates come off?
Magic.
I don't know how they do it, but nacho cheese Doritos just taste orange.
They just taste orange.
Yeah. These things do not taste like nacho or cheese. It tastes orange.
Understandable.
I don't know why I buy these when Cool Ranch is objectively the better flavor. Did you know in other countries Cool Ranch is known as Cool American?
The more I mess around with things, the more I'm just like, ooh, what if I try this? What if I try
Oh yeah,
that?
like that's the magic of LittleBigPlanet right there. Fuck.
I think I'm starting to finally see the appeal of this franchise.
Yeah. I mean, playing is one thing, but creating, oh my god.
I'm usually like terrible at creating stuff. Like Mario Maker, my levels are not good. Put it lightly.
I will say, creating and karting is much better because in like 1, 2, and 3, specifically 2, with how much logic they added to the game, you have your work cut out for you. This game, it's just karting. You're making karting levels. It's kind of simple in the sense
But
that like you have a defined focus. You know what you're doing. LittleBigPlanet 1 and 2, the time I spent in create mode was dicking around with other online players. I never made a goddamn thing in LittleBigPlanet. I mean, that's a lie. I made like some levels, but I don't think that they deserve to be called a level.
that's fair.
That's a train shift. That's a mountain. So, I think sculpt is different. Not sculpt. There's two options in like terrain edit. One is where it constantly builds on itself depending on how long you press it. This one is actually like set it to this height and called it a day achievement.
Alright.
Yeah,
So,
deform is where it just keeps going until you let go. And you can actually press triangle to invert the direction it goes. You might want to test if people are able to fall off the top and go on to the bottom section. And you can make it a breadcrumb if you want to actually do that, or what I think you can do, you can make an invisible force field that kills you when you hit it. So, force field is a material the goodies bag. Now you get to feel everyone's pain with how shitty the goodies bag. Bag. And it is just a green square. There it is. Green pixelated square. Oh, nope. Over on two. Force field. So this force field is actually just a solid material that is invisible in play mode. What you need to do is you need to plop it down, and then you need to put a damage modifier. Hazard modifier. So okay, so I want it to rotate like this. Not sure how to do that. There's a lot of funky controls that I don't remember. I just have the controller real quick, see if I can muscle it. So lower lift is. Is it in the tweak menu? Oh.
3D rotate.
Okay, so yeah, you gotta do this. So you gotta get it into this mode. Somehow try and get it absolutely level flat, because there's no snap for it. And then instead of press circle, okay. Now these camera controls in Creator are kind of sucky. So I'd recommend not a different shape, because square might be a little odd to work with, because you can go the 4 cardinal direction. Circle, making it. Let's just kind of and this kind of going above. And just kind of painting a no zone. You don't want it to go be clipping through the track like that. You also don't want it to be too. So I just kind of like paint like higher zone. That would just nobody racing on the bottom would run into it, and you don't need to worry about how it looks. Guess what? It's the one. Just have to anti-skipping. Then you do that, and down here, give it a lovely magic. And
I mean, it works.
it works. So then now, camera control. Fucking with. And you go into the tools bag. Where is the logic? Object.
Right?
Danger tweak. Ah! Edit it. And how do you want people to die when they touch it? Fire, electricity, plasma, or gas? Or just fucking get destroyed. Nothing. No animation. They just die.
Fire sounds.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh! I didn't think it'd do that.
Little bit right there.
What the fuck?
Yeah! Oh man, I feel good for finding that. I think.
actually try and jump over that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the hopping in karting is interesting.
It is.
And it should be in
Power-ups.
power-ups, yeah.
And what vinegar?
Yeah. Now, fortunately, there's no way to exactly like snap it to the track, unlike in Mod Nation, but you're going for the staggered approach rather than the line.
And it just makes things a little more interesting.
I'd recommend opening up the pause menu and hitting save.
Start. Save.
Yes.
Just in case things get a bit buggy.
Yeah, because this game has, at least in edit mode, has an. It's not often, but it has crashed on me before, and I'm always just like, bro, save. This is pretty close.
Oh. Okay.
Don't know what happened there.
Oh.
Game just kind of gave up.
Okay.
So that just depends on where the match ends. So it's actually invisible while playing.
Yeah.
So you can actually put it on the track.
But like, this be a good spot for it.
That's up to you.
That's fun.
This thing's so fast too, 'cause you can't. Like, are you talking about like a checkerboard on the ground, or are you talking about like an overpass? Because there's an actual overpass shape.
Pass shape.
So you say, just choose what material you want it to begin as.
Actually, are we still recording?
Yes. Fuck.
It's still fucking recording. Last we checked was at 3 hours.
5
2 hours. 2 hours of making a track.
Oh yeah. Ah,
Wow. You want to give it a shot?
sure, I'll drive it.
Yo. Someone who really watching most of the time. Not perfect, but what it is.
Gas. drift through the vehicle transformation.
Oh my god. Little things you learn, you on dead.
I just kind of died.
I mean, at least if you happen to go for the shortcut, it will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Such a little tight. There's a reason why I call it. Because some of these turns are pretty. I understand. Just around banking. Just a bit of variety of track design.
Itch.
On the final lap, too. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And if you really wanted to, you can have logic that makes the song actually pick up, like add channels depending on what lap it is. But
That's logic.
I mean, I could probably do it really quickly, but
I mean,
if you want to, I can try and pull it off.
it would be nice if I could figure it out too, you know?
Okay,
But
so
I don't know.
progress. Pop that down. Oh, trying to get worried about it. Just somewhere. Oh, word. Bro, what? It's a it goes into the fucking microchip, dude. Just plop it onto the cloth thing then. Oh! You need to place it on a checkpoint. Place it on player one's checkpoint.
Is
That first one up there. You need to place it on a checkpoint. Hope I'm right. Yep.
there it is.
Place it on a checkpoint.
Do you get rid of that microchip or?
No, you can keep the microchip. That's where you're going to put the logic in the radios. So that progress meter sends out an analog value between 0 and 100%. I want a way to sense if it's above 66%, then kick in. And I'm trying to remember how to do that. If you go down that threshold one, that one with the triangle. There it is, threshold. Plop it down somewhere in the mic. I would recommend like the top. Give yourself. So pop it in there. And go back to the pop it cursor so you can select it and tweak it. Okay, so minimum, set the minimum to be a 66. That's the third line. Now you can get out of here. Now go back to the sensor you placed on the checkpoint. And then there should be a light. So if you hover over it,
Progress sensor?
yeah, like tilt the camera up and zoom into it so you can see what I'm talking about. Clicking to tilt the camera, yeah, click on the stick and use the other stick. So when you're hovering, you see that like light that's beaming out of the sensor on the other side of it.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Goodness, what are you doing? Hover over that. What the hell are you using to control this fucking camera?
Right stick.
If you click in the stick and go up and down, you can. If you click in the left and use the right stick, you can tilt up and down the camera. So grab that. It'll make a wire. Go over to the threshold.
You know
The
what,
camera in
after
this sucks, I know, I'm sorry.
I thought I was just like mildly aggravating you on that accident.
Mildly aggravating me on your shitty camera controls. So zoom in and then pop it into the input.
That?
Yep. There we go, that's a wire. So now, what you want to do is let go of the wire, go back into tools, and grab the radio.
Which is the song I want.
Yes.
Um,
No. It's in the next page. There you go. That one.
space.
So you plop down one just on the microchip. You plop it down, and then you edit it to what you want it to be when the race starts.
Alright, so that's the first one.
That would be the first one.
And the second one over here will be final lap.
Yes.
Is that good spacing on this? Or?
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter because you're going to be using a trigger to input it anyway.
At max.
So now what you do is that you head the output of the threshold into the radio.
Alright.
There you go. You did it. So once the race reaches 66% complete from player one's perspective, it will launch the second half of the track. I mean, it'll launch the second radio. You can let go of the wire.
Yeah, that's like over 2 hours.
And then I can also like show you the logic, the small amount of logic that went into making the levels we know it made. All right. So we'll just play this real quick to see if you my logic, if I remember how the fuck to do LittleBigPlanet logic.
Probably.
On the side. You could also, another idea would have been like use the like position,
Oh,
the position sensor to do what Mario Kart 8 does and add an extra track when you're in first.
At the drum track.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I wanted to do, but I'm just like, it would make more sense just to have the final.
Have just a final lap, yeah. Because that would actually require extra logic. You'd require, damn it, forgot to shoot backwards. It'd require extra logic because you need to have two radios for not in first place, not final lap, not in first place, not final lap in first place, final lap not in first place,
and then
a final lap in first. And that would probably require a shit ton of logic that I don't plan on dealing with right now. Even though it's probably just as simple as some AND gates and shit, but...
Yeah.
Alright, let's see.
Yep.
God damn it! I green shoved myself!
Yeah, it worked.
Damn it!
Yeah,
That fucking wall!
That corner is really tricky. Even I have trouble with that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did work.
Yeah. LittleBigPlanet, like the mainline series are like, I want to say like their editing controls are much easier, but it's much easier to get stumped because there's just so much shit you want to do.
Yeah.
And if you want to make something that's not a platformer, I hope you know logic.
Yeah. My issue with creating a platforming theme level, especially again in Mario Maker, I don't know what I could do differently from other people to actually have a reason to make something. You know?
So I think actually the map with the most logic right now is fucking Maker Park for whatever reason.
I think you did show me this once.
Yeah, I probably did, but because there's logic for the cameras, there's logic for how the stuff over here. So like these stars and whatnot. As you can, the way that actual like motor bolts and stuff like this work in this game is, as you can see, that thing that's kind of spiking out of the wall there.
Yeah.
That's actually a motor bolt. So as you can see, the star is rotating around that center point, like that.
Yeah.
And sort of like this disco ball, where the center point is that gear there that rotates like that.
Cool.
This star here is following a track follower. Is following a track follower. So it's hooked to the track, and I'm not sure if you can see it because there's just so much shit here. But there should be like a... Oh, there it is. Right there. That traction in there.
Yeah.
Is connected to this star. As you can see by that connector that's right there. And that's how it follows around the track. This is the logic for the ending, I believe. No, this is the beginning, because that's way too many fucking cameras. Yeah. But as you can see, this... So this is how start and end cutscenes work. So, essentially, this right here is an input and output box, and this right here is an input and output box. Yeah. So essentially, this sends out a signal to a camera before the race, and then once the final camera is done firing, it sends an input here to say start the race. And once the race is done, this fires a signal to a camera, and then once the camera says it's done, or the last camera in the chain says it's done, it sends a signal back to the scoreboard to say that it's done, and can play the podium cutscene. You have the logic on the star for lighting on fire and dying at the very end. Sure. You have the camera on it that just follows it. Those are the timers for how long until it catches on fire and how long until it blows up. Like, that's about right. Beautiful.
Play a game. Yeah, like, I would love to start actually getting into level creep.
He'll spin.
He's spinning.
What other games do I need? Alright, I should stop the OBS recording now.
You probably should.
Man, I'm gonna have a lot of content to go through.
Yeah, at least you got a lot of B-roll.
Oh yeah, definitely. In like 20 years, when I make the retrospective about the PlayStation 3, when I'm an actual content creator. It's still spinning, and my touchpad's not working. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? My hands aren't even that sweaty. Stop recording. Video is like 5 hours and 30 minutes long.